Okay, here we are, ready for the next reveal. This is number 576, 1953D. Should be a really nice hunt. Got some really pretty coins here. Go ahead and dump these out. Let's see where we go. A few nice things to find in 1953D. One of them being a D that shows under the one of the date inside, well, actually halfway inside the vest, the front of the vest. Also some other, oops, I got these backwards. There we go. Coin number 1, Malcolm here. A lot of nice RPMs to be found. So let's get digging, see what we can find. Here's coin number 1. And there are two different styles of D mint mark for 1953 as well. This is the larger mint mark. You'll notice how it has a hump right on the upper serif right here. And then it has a dip on the top. And then a big, long, round D. You'll see a different kind of D. This is the larger kind of D on 1953D. There are two different ones. And there's a big die crack running across the head. And nothing else on the obverse. Let's check the reverse. Not very well known for double dies, the reverse of the 1953D. So we'll take a look through the first 10 coins, and then after that, we'll kind of hang up that idea through the remainder of the roll. So that first coin for Malcolm is not a die variety. So we keep looking. Coin number 2. Coins and ghouls, and I got that one upside down. Got to put it around the right way so it shows the way it's supposed to. There we go. And coin number 2 is this one. It's another larger style mint mark. Got nothing of particular interest showing up on the obverse there. Let's check the reverse and see what we get. Hi, Malcolm. Good evening to you, sir. There is a nice little die crack on the left wheat there. But as for anything else, I don't really see anything on here. And for Eric, coin number 3. Let's see if there's anything on coin number 3 here. Oh, same mint mark style. It's the same die. Same die with that big die crack running across the head. Hello, Dan. Good day, sir. Let's check coin number 4. This one's going to be for Parvas here. And not getting any love here. Doesn't seem to be any love. Not yet, anyway. Yeah, we're going to keep looking. We're going to keep seeing what we can see in here. It's the same die, actually. It's got that same, well, it's a K-shaped little die crack. Could be the preface to a cud eventually, but we don't know that for sure. So we just call it a die crack. Roger, Mr. Borland, comes up with the next coin, and the next coin appears to have no mint mark doubling, nothing in God We Trust, and nothing on Liberty. So we'll flip that one over to the reverse side, see what happens. Never know when something might pop up. Nothing there. That's coin number 5. Number 6 now for Mickey. Mickey. Let's see what Mickey gets. It looks like All of these coins have suffered just a little bit of the world. Looks like there's a few little tick mark spots and hickey marks on some of these. Not a lot to learn from this one so far. Hello, Coin Junkie. Good day, my Canadian friend. Hopefully the weather hasn't started getting cold up there in Canada yet. There's a RPM for you. Little chaser. This little flat spot right here shows you there's doubling in the lower serif, and this little comma right here shows you there's doubling on the upper serif. So it is an RPM, although it is not a very well-defined RPM. But it is there nonetheless. And I'll pick up a couple of markers off of here. Markers will help us determine when we see a number of coins from the same die pair. So we've got north, east to southwest die scratches through the date. And we'll take a look at the reverse on this one just to see if there happens to be anything on the reverse as well. Generally speaking, we would be talking a definite no for 1953D, as there is very little to nothing known for the issue on the reverse. But we got something going on there, so we're going to move on to coin number 8, and this one's going to be for Techstar. And Techstar will get, looks like another one of the normal coins. Yeah. Unfortunately, coin number 9. Carl. What can we get for Carl here? Well, it's another one of the little RPMs. Same markers and everything for that last one, so this is another example of the little RPM that we are finding in this roll. Good deal. So Carl gets that coin number 9. Now number 10, Sureg. And Sureg. For Sureg we find. That's another one of the little RPMs. It's a little bit harder to see, but that little comma shows up on the upper part of the mint mark right there. We've got all the same markers. And so that will be our third example of that RPM. Here's one for Stan. Let's see if Stan gets one. Actually, no. See if we have anything else here. Nothing. Okay. Number 12 goes to Richard Sappington. And let's see. Oh, we got another one there. See that little comma right on the upper serif? That shows you doubling on that upper serif. And this has all the same markers as the other three we've already pulled out of here. This is coin number 4 of that particular die. Now, coin number 13. This one goes to Doug. Mr. Rizek. That's not going to be one of them. I don't think. No. It's not. I could tell because of that nice little crack on the VDP up there. And that's something that doesn't show on the ones we've already pulled as RPMs. So it's a different die. Here and poop. Just in time to see failure, Doug. We love you too, brother. Kelly Ray. Kelly Ray comes up next. Let's see what Kelly Ray gets. Well, this one doesn't have the VDB die crack. It also doesn't have an RPM. So, unfortunately, our happy little squirrel can't live in this tree right over here. So we keep moving. Keep moving, keep moving. Eric. Eric up now? Well, Eric is actually probably not up now. He's probably asleep. Eric crashes at about 8:30, 9 o'clock. He's an early sleeper, but he's early to rise every day, too. Just something I can't say for myself. He starts sending me messages at 8:30 in the morning, and I'm still asleep. That's because I'm working until 2 o'clock in the morning. There's the other D. This one's a fatter looking D. It's just a different mint mark style. And that's number 16, I'm sorry. Now number 17. Number 17, this one going to Mark Thomas. Let's see. What can we find? Has that got the little comma on there? I don't think so. No, it's not doubled. Not a doubled mint mark. So, we keep looking. We keep looking on. Coin number 18. Paul? Mr. Paul Hampton. Nothing there either. It looks like we have 1 RPM so far that we're digging for in this roll. We found 4 of them. Working on trying to find our 5th and trying to figure out who the recipient of that 5th coin is going to be. It's not this one. Not that one. So that's coin number 19. Now let's look at coin number 20. Taco John. Taco John gets... Well, it's not one of the RPMs. This is a slightly earlier dice date. 1953D. See anything there. Let's look at the reverse on this one. I don't think we've seen this die before, so we're going to give the reverse a little bit of a chance to show us something, anything. And we see nothing, as expected. However, you never know unless you try, correct? Here's coin number 21 now. Let me move this forward just a little bit. Having just a little bit of trouble reaching everything here. There we go. Okay, coin number 21 is going to go to Mickey. And what do we have for Mickey? Yeah, there's nothing going on there. Let's move on now to coin number 22. See if we can get something to pop out for us. It's coin number 22. Not an RPM. It's got that die crack. That's the same as the first coin we pulled out of this roll. So, got nothing going on there. Number 23. We've got Techstar, and he gets one. There's one of them right there. You can see if you, well, maybe it isn't. No, it isn't one of them. Here I jumped the gun. Thought I'd found an RPM, and it turns out not to be. None of these are the bigger than Dallas beautiful RPMs that we're hoping for. The ones we are finding turn out to be just little minor ones. It's what my friend and author Dr. Brian Allen calls bluegill. Little ones. On to number 25 for Ant. Let's see what Ant pulls. Another normal one. Unfortunately, another normal one. I'd love to find nothing but a bunch of die varieties in this. Just find RPMs all the way through the roll. That would make me happy. Make me a happy guy. Being able to share some really good coins with other people. But sometimes it works out where the rolls just don't produce what we want them to produce, and they just turn out being kind of normal. And this is kind of sort of what's happening here. We have one die that we're finding here. Turns out to be a decent RPM. The rest of them are all normal coins so far. We're past the midpoint in the roll. We're up to Mark Thomas. And so far, just 4 examples of an RPM. Here's a 5th one right here. So there is some light at the end of the tunnel. We're finding, just an RPM here and an RPM there. Here, there, and everywhere. I do not like them in a boat. I will not eat them with a goat. Alright, here we go. Parvas now. Let's see what we got for Parvas. We have a coin that appears to be, well, it appears to be rather browned out. We're going to get Parvas a credit for this one on his next invoice. Actually, I'll just credit him on his invoice for tonight, because I haven't sent that yet. Haven't sent out invoices yet tonight. I'll be sending them out in the morning as soon as I get up. Get Parvas on the clear on this one, 576. Where's my pen? Who took my pen? Oh, it's right exactly where I left it. Okay. Alright, here's coin number 29. This one goes to Roger. And Roger. It's a pretty early dice day coin, but it is not a die variety. Now, the difference between die varieties and errors. Pretty simple, yet very difficult, because a lot of people don't really assimilate the difference between them, and so it becomes a very difficult subject. A die variety is something that was placed into the die, generally doubling, and it was placed into the die before the die was ever hung to mint a coin. That way, every coin that die struck has that die variety on it. A die variety is not something that is created during the strike process or the planchet making process. And so it is a die variety. An error is something that happens during the minting of a coin. Whether it be something that happened because of the way the planchet was created, or whether it's something that happens because the die breaks or otherwise has issues, or whether it's something that's created by the strike of the coin itself, they are generally a one-off thing, happen onesie-twosies, and they are not repeated, generally not repeated, unless they are die errors. Now, die error is a little bit different from the planchet and striking errors. And die error is when something anomalous happens to the die during the production of coins, such as a break. Piece of the die falls off, chips off, and becomes what we know of as a cud. Piece of the edge of the die chips away. Can also have a die that shatters and breaks apart and continues striking coins while it's broken apart. That would be a broken die or a shattered die. A strike from a shattered die. Can also have where there are two dies together that do not belong together, striking coins. Here's another one of our RPMs. It's a little more difficult to see on this coin, but it is there. Now, striking error is anything that happens during the striking of the coins. The planchet doesn't get seated properly into the chamber where it's minted into a coin. We call that a partial color error. If the color doesn't sink down around the planchet before the coin is struck in the first place, then we have what's called a broad strike. Broad struck coins are made without a retaining color around them. This is another one of the RPMs. And those can be quite valuable. We have double struck, we have flip over double struck, we have fold over struck, we have indents, we have brockages. All of those can be searched for and looked up on Google. It'll teach you all the differences between them and what they are. But the important thing in this particular scope is that they are all created during the striking of the coin. Hello, 75 in pennies, baby. Gotta say it that way because it's got 3 Y's at the end. And so those coins which are messed up while the coins are being struck are all errors. And die varieties would be something that was placed into the die, like a doubled mint mark, or a doubled design, or a repunched date, things like that. And then coins are minted using those dies. Well, what the die has on it in the design strikes directly into the coin in opposite relief as a fingerprint. So the fingerprint of the die is left on all the coins minted by that die. So this is part of the fingerprint of this die. This big die crack here over the VDB, and if you find another coin with that same die crack, then you look around and you find something else. Here is a little it's a flaw in the die where the molecular structure of the die kind of broke down and a piece fell out. Here's a die scratch. These are die scratches placed into the die by an emery board or a wire brush or something else, and those scratches remain in the die and become raised lines on the coins. So that is another marker. Here's another marker. Large concentric die scratches inside the ear and on all of the lower relief areas of the head. Concentric meaning they go around the center. So these are all focused around the center of the design, which is about right here where my cursor is. So here we go. Keep looking for more stuff. Let's see what we find here. Looking for anything die variety related or any major errors or any very high grade coins. Unfortunately, in this particular roll, very high grade coins seem to be, well, kind of non-existent. This is another one of our RPM coins. It's a little difficult to see because it's been hit, but I can tell by the markers. Maybe this one isn't one of them. Put this one in the regular stack. I opened my mouth a little too soon. Those die cracks across the forehead kind of tell me, you're wrong, Chuck. Admit it and move on. Okay. Nothing on this one either. Nothing there. So 75, your short name, Agent 75. I see that you have not registered with the channel so that you can bid and purchase from Copper Coins. There we go. There's another one of the RPMs. I tell these RPMs because we have these die scratches here. Plus we have a little die dent right there. It's a little raised dot on the coin. And then we have strong northwest to southeast die scratches running through the face. And there's no big... There are a couple of small die cracks in the hair, but not the big die crack that runs all across the forehead. So this is another one of the RPMs right here. If you want to register, it's absolutely free. No down payment, no other kinds of payment required. All you got to do is just give me your information and we're ready to go. You can send it to coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. That's coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. Send me your YouTube name, your real name, your email address, and your physical mailing address so that I can get everything together for you on an invoice should you choose to purchase from me. The only emails we send out are emails reminding you of the events we have upcoming. And those events that we have upcoming are generally twice a week. Once on Monday at 7 p.m. we sell the coins for this particular type of show right here, the reveals. And then on Tuesday at 7 p.m., which will be about 21 hours from now, we are going to have an auction. It's going to be a regular auction on YouTube, live. Place your bids as we go along. And you may actually be able to get some of the wonderful items I'm going to have up for auction tomorrow evening. If you register before noon tomorrow, you will get an email reminding you of the auction and giving you a link to the list of items that will be available during the auction. I can tell you right now there's going to be a lot of rolls available, a lot of good rolls. There'll be a number of other nice things available, not just rolls. There's another one of our RPMs right there. Another RPM. So I just need your name, your address, your YouTube username, and your email address. And we're ready to go. I don't know if I said physical address in there or not, but I meant to, if I did not. Have to have your physical address so I'll know how to get stuff mailed to you. Okay. That's another normal coin there. Up to number 45. We have a total of 6 coins left in the roll. This is the first out of those 6 coins. It'll be for Jordan. And that one's not going to be an RPM. We don't have any double dies in this roll. Coin number 46. This one goes to Eric. And Eric gets one of the RPMs. This is one of the RPMs. You can see the die dot above the 5. You can see the die scratch through the 9. The other heavier die scratches through the face. The RPM itself is visible but not readily easy to see. And that one's going to go to Eric. we have about a dozen of these now. So a dozen decent RPMs going out to people out of this one roll. This is not one of them. You can start seeing, as we continue our journey through the roll, you can start seeing these repetitive markers that I'm talking about as we hit the individual coins. A little bit of practice at doing that, and you actually get kind of good at it. Here's one for Sreg. I won't say anything. You see, I was pretty good at that. Didn't say anything. This is not one of the RPMs. Alright. We got 2 coins left in the roll. I'll play the silent treatment on both of them so you can have a chance to test yourself and see what you think. First one here is for Farm Dog. It's not one of the RPMs. It has some of the general markers that we would be looking for the RPM, but it has a marker that tells us it's definitely not one, and that's this huge die crack running across the head. So, coin number 49 turns out to be a normal coin. Now, coin number 50 goes to Jordan. Let's see, we got some definite nastygram on this one, but keep looking. You might just see something, and you might not. What say you? I say we get nothing. Nothing here. Alright. So, Jordan, I am going to credit on this one. Now, it's one for Jordan and one for his grandpa, Purvis. Okay, so here is what we have. These are the RPMs that I noticed and pulled out. There could be additional ones, but these are the ones that were noticed. I'm going to go ahead and show you the name side so you can see your name if it flashes on screen here. It means you're getting one of them. There's 10 of them in here, 10 of them. So 10 out of 50 coins, that's 1/5 of the roll. I'd say that's pretty decent. Don't know about you, but to me, that's a pretty decent pull. I like that haul very much, and I appreciate you guys having been here to watch it. And this is where I sign off for the day. I'll go check email again, see if anybody sent me any nice letters, and guess I'll talk to you guys later. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget about that auction coming up at 7 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. I'll see you later.